everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer on the guitar, so stay tuned if this is something that you want to learn. Surrender my everything 'cause you made me believe you're mine. Alright, so this song is going to be really great for beginners because there's only 4 chords and all of them are very basic open chords, no bar chords this time. And one more thing is if you want to sing it in the same key as the original song, you want to put your capo on the 3rd fret so that you can sing it in that key. If you don't have one, then you can watch my video here about how to make your own. Or if you don't want to do that either, you can always just sing it without a capo. It'll just be a little bit lower than the original version. In addition to that, you only need to know one strumming pattern for this song, but I will take you through a couple of different options so that you can pick which one is at the right comfort level for you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what those chords look like. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at these chords. Like I said, you only need to know 4 to play the whole song, so we're going to go ahead and start with our E minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next we have our D chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that we have G, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord you need to know is C, which looks like this and sounds like this. And those are the only 4 chords you need to know for this song. Alright, so once you have those chords memorized and you can transition pretty quickly between them, then let's go ahead and move on to some strumming patterns that you can use with this song. Okay, so like I always say, the very first strumming pattern I have for you is the most basic, and what you're going to want to do is just strum 1 down strum on the beat for every chord change. So this song in particular is going to be really dependent on rhythm. The chord changes are not on the beat or like on the measure, so I'm going to go ahead and teach you a little bit more about the rhythm because it'll be important to learn all of the other strumming patterns that I have to show you later in the video. But anyway, let's go ahead and put our E minor chord on. That's the first chord in the song. What we're going to do is strum this down once. But the important part of this strumming pattern is holding it out for the right number of beats. So for E minor, we're going to hold it out to 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now we're going to go to our next chord, which is D, and we're just going to hold out D for 2 beats. D, 2, then we switch to G, 3, 4. Alright? So we've got E minor for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, G, 4. Then now we go to C and we hold this out for 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, D, 4. So you can think about this if you don't have any experience with music theory as every beat there's going to be 4 beats per measure, and so what we're going to do is just hold out certain beats per measure. And I know that this seems really detailed and maybe unnecessary, but it's really important that you learn this rhythm now so that everything else in this tutorial will be easier for you to learn. So let's do that again with our E minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, G, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, D, 4. Okay? And then once you get that rhythm, I swear all the other strumming patterns I have to show you for this song will be so much easier. So let's go ahead and go through that one more time, put some singing in there so you can see what that sounds like. Got my E minor chord on. Remember the words you told me, love me till the day I die. 4, 1, 2. Surrender my everything 'cause you made me believe you're mine. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, you used to call me baby, now you're calling me by name. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes one to know one, congratulations, once you have that rhythm down, the rest of the strumming patterns are going to be so much easier to learn. So going from our first strumming pattern into our second, one of the easiest things you can do to dress up the strumming pattern is you're just going to play one down strum for every beat. So let me go ahead and show you what this sounds like with my E minor chord on. Instead of just playing E minor once, I'm going to play one down strum per beat. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And if you add this into the rest of the transitions, it's going to be the same as we just did, except instead of counting the beats in our head, what we're going to do is actually play them out on our guitar. So let's try that again with the new strumming pattern. I've got E minor, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, G, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember the day you told me you loved me till the day I die. Surrender my everything 'cause you made me believe you're mine. Alright, and so again what I'm doing is I'm showing you different levels of strumming patterns that you can do. You can use whichever strumming pattern you want to use for the whole song, but in my cover at the end I will be mixing all of these strumming patterns that I'm teaching you together. So again, just a little tip here, one of the easiest things you can do to kind of make the guitar part sound more interesting is to take different strumming and picking patterns and kind of mesh them in together when you're doing your cover. So again, I just wanted to teach you a couple of different strumming patterns that you can use. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our third strumming pattern. So as you can see, it's very similar to our second strumming pattern, but what we're going to do is in between each down strum, which we just played, we're going to add an up strum in between them all. So let's go ahead and put this in rhythm and try that with our chords on. So again, I have my E minor chord down and we're just going to strum down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now I know this strumming pattern may sound a little bit convoluted, it's a lot of ringing and stuff going on, so one thing that I like to do to add into this strumming pattern is apply a little bit of a palm mute. So what I'm doing is I'm laying the side of my pick hand, or like my playing hand, against the strings really gently so that they just kind of mute the sound a little bit, not completely mute, but just kind of dull the sound a little bit. So when you apply that, it sounds a little bit more rhythmic. What I'm doing is whenever I strum down, I'm kind of dulling the strings a little, but then when I strum up, it rings. And so this will give it a really cool percussive sound, and when you speed up the strumming pattern, it actually has a cool effect on the song. So let me speed it up for you and show you that. We've got this strumming pattern is actually going to be during the pre-chorus. So if you want to go ahead and put your E minor chord on, and I'll take you through what that sounds like. Again, we're going to speed this up a little bit from where we just were to match the tempo of the song. So we've got so just a little fun way to kind of dress up that pre-chorus if you want to use it. But again, all of these strumming patterns are optional. You can definitely pick which one works best for you. Let's go ahead and move on to our next strumming pattern, which is going to be strumming pattern 4. And as you can see, it's just down, down, up, down, up. And what we're going to do is play this through for every chord. So again, let's put our E minor chord on and apply this strumming pattern. So we've got down, down, up, circle around, up, down, up. That's the whole whole strumming pattern. So let's go ahead and put it in rhythm. We've got down, down, up, down, up. So now again, remember that rhythm I taught you at the beginning. What we're gonna do is change up this strumming pattern a little bit for some of the chords. So let me break that down. For E minor, we've got our regular whole pattern, down, down, up, down, up. Here we're gonna switch to our D chord, and since the D chord and the G chord are each only 2 beats long, what we're gonna do is just play down, down, up for each chord. So with our D chord, we've got down, down, up, switch to G, down, down, up. Then we go to C, and that's just like E minor, the whole pattern, down, down, up, down, up. And then for this last measure, again, it's gonna be 2 beats per, because we've got 2 beats for C, 2 beats for D. So we're gonna go back to down, down, up on C, and down, down, up on D. It's a lot of information to throw at you, so let's go ahead and put it together. With E minor, we've got down, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up. And with that one down, we only have one strumming pattern left that I want to show you, and this is going to be strumming pattern 5. Alright, so as you can see, our last strumming pattern is down, up, mute, down, up, up. So let me go ahead and play it for you once so you can hear what it sounds like. I have my E minor chord on. I've got down, up, mute, down, up, down, up. So this pattern makes a little more sense when it's in rhythm. So I've got so you can hear I'm muting the strings pretty quickly, and what I'm doing there is I'm just kind of slapping all 6 strings right here next to my sound hole. It's just going to mute the strings and the sound completely for a split second before we go back into our next part of the pattern. So again, we've got down, up, mute, down, up, down, up. Okay, so now we're going to keep the same rhythm for the next measure, except what we're going to do is kind of split it in half. The first half is going to be our D chord, down, up, mute, and then instead of staying on D, we're going to switch to G to finish out the rest of this pattern. Down, up, down, up. Alright, so let's do that measure again. We've got D, up, mute, G, up, down, up. Alright, so let's strum the first 2 parts together. We've got E minor, whole thing, D, mute, G. So again, we're splitting up this pattern between D and G. So let's do that again in rhythm. And then we carry out the rest of the line just the same way. We've got C all the way through, and then C, and then go to D. So this makes more sense when you play it all together. So let me go ahead and play it together for you. I've got E minor, D, G, C, C, D. See, walk me out of your Alright, so I know that this is a lot of information that I just threw at you guys, but again, I'm teaching you a bunch of different strumming patterns. You can choose one and play for the whole song, or you can mix and match them however you please for whatever part of the song you like. It's your cover after all, but these are just some suggestions that I have for strumming patterns, so definitely just pick which one you like the best, and if you want to follow the way that I'm going to do my own cover at the end, I will be putting in this top corner which strumming pattern I'm using for which part of the song. And like I said earlier, it's always a great idea to kind of mix together patterns so it makes the guitar part a little less boring. But again, it's up to experience level, and up to whatever you decide. So go ahead and feel free to rewind back on this video if there's anything that you didn't understand, to play through it again a little bit slowly. But now with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the playthrough at the end. I'm going to sing the whole song for you. I'm going to have all the lyrics and chord changes and everything on screen in front of you, as well as what strumming pattern I'm using for which part of the song. So I think that's it. So let's go ahead and play through the whole song of Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer. Good luck. Back in your life, so I'm just a dead man falling tonight. Remember the words you told me, love me till the day I die. Surrender my everything, 'cause you made me believe you're mine. Yeah, you used to call me baby, now you're calling me by name. Takes one to know one, yeah, you beat me at my own damn game. You're pushing, I'm pulling away from you. I give it, you take, you take. Youngblood, say want me, out of your life. So I'm just a dead man walking tonight. 'Cause I need it, yeah, need it all of the time. Youngblood, say want me, back in your life. So I'm just a dead man calling tonight. 'Cause I need it, yeah, need it all of the time. Lately our conversations end like it's our last goodbye. One of us gets too drunk and calls about 100 times. So who you would call it, baby? Nobody could take my place. Looking at the strangers, hope to God you see my face. You're pushing, I'm pulling away from you. I give it, and you take, you take. You're running around and I'm running away from you. Youngblood, say want me, out of your life. So I'm just a dead man walking tonight. 'Cause I need it, yeah, need it all of the time. Youngblood, say want me, back in your life. So I'm just a dead man crawling tonight. 'Cause I need it, yeah, need it all of the time. You're pushing, I'm pulling away from you. I give it, you take, you take. Youngblood, say want me, back in your life. So I'm just a dead man falling tonight. Okay, so that concludes my tutorial for Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below if you found any part of this tutorial helpful, as well as subscribe to my channel. That way you guys know every single time I upload a new video. And if you are already subscribed, please make sure that that bell notification is on also, just so you don't miss any of my uploads. There are my social media sites if you would like to follow me on any of those. I do fun stuff like sneak peeks and polls and giveaways and things like that. I also find people to give shout outs to from my social media, so if you want to get a shout out in the next video like this person right here, then definitely follow me on any of those sites. I guess that concludes this video, so until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks again for watching. Bye.